First, we will need fabric gloves for the demonstration. They should be either black or white. Make sure the gloves are clean, stain-free, and fit properly. Wearing gloves will highlight your professionalism and help keep the DPK clean. Do not use rubber or silicone gloves. They are not suitable for creating the right atmosphere. The DPK comes with a demonstration tool bag containing a water spray bottle, an isopropyl alcohol spray bottle, a water dropper bottle, a black permanent marker, and a pink water-based marker. You will also need paper napkins and preferably a suitable napkin holder. The napkin holder can be branded. This is not necessary, but can improve the impression. And finally, we need the demo panel kit itself. It opens like this and provides convenient access to each panel. Now let's move on to individual panels of the demo kit. The first panel contains a sample of CERAMICPRO 9H applied to glass. When demonstrating, we take the glass out of the groove, and after explaining what it is, we hand it to the customer. Then they can touch the sample, try to pick it up with a fingernail, and just take a good look at it. We also need to explain that this sample is intentionally applied in an excessively thick layer to make it easier to notice. For the intended use, a much thinner layer is sufficient. Here we demonstrate that the coating has a real thickness, that it has exceptionally good adhesion to the substrate, as well as complete transparency of the product. The second panel contains a brass sheet, half protected by several layers of CERAMICPRO 9H. As you can see, one half is clean and the other is completely oxidized. This panel demonstrates the ability of the coating to completely block air and liquids from reaching the surface of the substrate, which prevents oxidation and therefore corrosion and other damage associated with aggressive chemicals. Draw the customer's attention to the aesthetics of the panel. Both halves are beautiful in their own way. Clean brass has a pleasant color and shine, and on the oxidized half, intricate multicolored patterns are formed. Since the samples undergo the oxidation process in natural conditions, in some cases for years, each panel is unique. The third panel is designed for a classic, original demonstration of the hardness of our coatings and protection against certain types of physical damage. The panel contains a sheet of metal with paint applied to it, simulating a standard car surface. In this panel, the coated and uncoated halves are not horizontally positioned, but vertically, where the top half is unprotected and the bottom has several layers of CERAMICPRO 9H. For the demonstration, we will need an object made of ordinary plastic, for example, a standard plastic lighter. Place the panel on the table in front of the client and strike the panel one or more times with a firm movement, trying to scratch it. Initially, the marks will remain on both halves of the panel. Then take a paper napkin or a microfiber cloth and try to erase the mark from the blow on the unprotected half. You will not succeed. Then repeat the same on the protected half. If you do everything correctly, you will easily erase the mark. After the demonstration, you can offer the client to repeat the experiment themselves. But do not forget to clarify that the coating will not be able to protect against some types of physical impact, such as blows from hard metal objects. Do not mislead the customer. The fourth panel contains a leather sample half protected with CERAMICPRO Lux. Note that there is virtually no visual difference between the halves, and we can determine which half has the coating only by the inscriptions on the panel. This in itself demonstrates one of the advantages of CERAMICPRO Lux, namely the absence of color change due to product application. We will clearly see the presence of the coating later, when we start conducting tests. For this demonstration, we will need a pink water-based marker, which we will use on both the coated and uncoated half. When drawing on the sample, we recommend applying strokes in an orderly manner starting from the center, one for each demonstration. This way, the panel will look presentable longer and you will be able to use it more times. After making a stroke on each half, draw the customer's attention to the difference in the clarity and color saturation of the strokes, as well as the presence of a hydrophobic effect on the protected side. After this, take a spray bottle with water and wet the surface quite generously. Next, take a paper napkin and remove the marker stroke from the sample with a confident movement. Repeat the same on the second half. Here, the surface will not be cleaned. Explain to the customer how this property of the coating can be used in practice. Since most leather goods are sewn together with thread, it is also necessary to demonstrate that the coating protects the seams. Make 2 strokes of pink marker on the seams and immediately wet with a large amount of water. Then use a paper towel to soak up the water that has absorbed the dye. The seam should remain clean. On the unprotected side, the seam will remain dyed. The next demonstration panel is with Suede. Here we will demonstrate the possibility of protecting absorbent materials using the hydrophobic effect. Since Suede naturally repels water, at first we will not notice a significant difference, but during the test, the differences between the protected and unprotected halves will become obvious. For this demonstration, we will need to remove one of the gloves, otherwise it will get wet. Next, take a dropper bottle of water and carefully drip a few drops onto both halves of the sample, closer to the middle of the panel. In this video, there is too much water. 6 to 8 drops in total are enough. Then try to crush the drops with your finger. Start with the unprotected half. After a few presses, the water will be absorbed into the suede and form a wet spot. Then try to do the same on the coated half. You will not succeed, and the drops will roll around on the surface. Finally, remove the water from the surface with a paper towel and show the client the completely dry, protected half. This demo panel contains a sample of a wooden surface. Despite the noticeable color difference, protecting wooden surfaces makes sense, especially when it comes to home furniture elements. Overall, this demo is needed so that the customer understands the versatility of the protective properties of our products. You can wet the sample surface and demonstrate the hydrophobic effect on the protected half. And finally, the last demo panel in our kit is a panel with marble. Notice how beautiful the sample is. Many people know that marble is a very porous material. It gets stained easily and is very difficult to clean. In this demo, we will show that even such a problematic material as marble can be protected with our coatings. For the test, take a black permanent marker. Tell the customer that this marker is one of the most difficult to remove. Make 2 strokes on both halves of the sample. The difference will be immediately clear. Next, take a spray bottle and apply isopropyl alcohol to both strokes in sufficient volume. Then, using a paper napkin, erase the stroke from the protected half. The alcohol will increase the friction with the surface, so you will have to apply a little force, but you will succeed. It will be impossible to remove the marks from the unprotected side, which is what you should show the customer. You can even offer them to try to do it themselves. Keep in mind that you need to act quickly during this test. If the marker starts to dry, it may be difficult to remove it from the treated side. In this case, you will have to use more alcohol, but the impression may already be spoiled. Such a presentation will not only allow you to clearly explain the various properties of CERAMICPRO protective coatings, but will also impress the customer, leaving vivid memories. And this is a guarantee that they will tell their friends about the experience and not only use your services themselves, but also bring new customers to you.